Why are thousands of people leaving Manhattan for this up-and-coming neighborhood? Well, because of reasons that may surprise you. Today, I'm gonna take you through my neighborhood, Long Island City, Queens, and show you why this is the best place to live in New York City. I always start the day at my go-to coffee shop, that's Sweet Leaf. Let's go inside. Cool thing about Sweet Leaf is that they actually do coffee and cocktails at one of their locations in Long Island City. They switched from a coffee shop to a cocktail bar midday, which I think is just so fun and different, and I like their creativity with that. Now let's get my peppermint mocha because I need some caffeine before we start this day. One of the reasons I love living here is because it is cheaper and newer than Manhattan. As you can see, all of the buildings are brand new, which means they have better amenities, they're just higher quality, and it's significantly cheaper than Manhattan, which, by the way, right here, you have the most epic views of the city. It's so gorgeous, especially at sunset, and it's so easy to get to Manhattan that it's pretty much like you're in Manhattan, but you're not paying those crazy prices for an old building that is just super outdated. It only takes 10 minutes to get to Central Park, 10 minutes to get to Grand Central, about 15 minutes to get to Times Square, yet I don't have to pay anywhere near the cost of living near those things, even though I'm only 10 minutes away. This community has really recently been impacted by an influx of tons of great restaurants. In particular, a lot of Asian restaurants. So we have Korean barbecue, we have ramen, we have Thai, Japanese. It's like every type of food under the sun. This is a fabulous Italian restaurant. It's called Levante. They have really good pizza, and it's all here. It's like a miniature Manhattan for cheaper than Manhattan. It's like the best case scenario. We had to go to my favorite spot of all, which is technically a little bit outside of NYC, but I'm counting it as part of this guide because it's incredible. It's called Astoria Seafood. This has the best seafood in the city, and it's truly an experience. So they have all this fresh seafood that is shipped here daily, and you literally choose your fish and then give it to them and they cook it, and it's incredible and so cheap. The feast has arrived here at Astoria Seafood, and I am so excited about it. You know, this is a no-frills spot. This is a spot you don't come for presentation, you don't come here for service, you come here for the best seafood in the city. In fact, I was just talking to some people next to us. They came from Manhattan, they work in Manhattan, they're like, this is where it's at, right here. Let's eat the salmon here. Perfectly grilled. Melts in your mouth. So buttery, so tender. Oh, so good. Do you hear the song? That's how I feel. It's so good. It's so delicious. Don't miss Astoria Seafood. It's the best.
I want to give you a gift. It's my free neighborhood guides of New York City. There are absolutely no catches. They are completely free and will help you make the most of your time here. Click on the link in my video description to get them.
I'm all about supporting local businesses, and that's why I love this spot right here. This is called Book Culture LIC, and this is a locally owned bookstore that has a lot of nice little gift items inside as well. My favorite section of this bookstore is the New York City section. They have so many books on New York City, which most I have read at this point, but I just like to come here and look through the books, buy a new one. This is my favorite one, by the way, right here. This is an illustrated history of New York. They have great pictures. Unlike a lot of places in Manhattan, LIC, Long Island City, is so livable. We have a lot of grocery stores and a lot of doctors and all this stuff, but most importantly, a very exciting addition, Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is so cheap. It doesn't even make sense. Honestly, I'm not even sure how they make money. I'm not sure. But this was just added. It's like the hot spot of the town. Honestly, I feel like if you're a New Yorker, you understand what I mean by, like, we have a Trader Joe's in Long Island City. There's this store here that looks super trendy called Extra Butter, but it's part of a speakeasy that I go to all the time. So I think we should check out Extra Butter right now and see what's inside. It looks like the type of place that Lucas would like, in my opinion. Lucas, do you have any of these shoes? Jordans? I feel like you do. How about these ones? Yeezys. That teddy bear thing, that's like a thing that the youngsters do.
What?
These little dudes are bear bricks. They can also be big dudes. Bear bricks have become one of the most sought after collectibles in recent years.
And right through this mirror, there's actually a speakeasy. Not open right now, but super secret and cool. Delicious cocktails, absolutely delicious cocktails. This is like my go-to spot. They open at 4 every day. So check it out if you're in Long Island City. One of the things Louie loves, my husband, about LIC is that there are a ton of breweries here. This is one of the only areas in New York City that is approved to brew beer. So you actually have, I believe there's 3 or 4 breweries that actually brew the beer on location in LIC. Rockaway Brewing Company is one of them, and then the other spot is Fifth Hammer Brewing. Now right across the street from Rockaway Brewing is a spot called Culture Lab. Now you can see the sign there. To the untrained eye, it just looks like a parking lot. But during the warmer months of the year, they actually have live music Thursday to Sunday here and an art gallery, and it's all free. It's amazing. There's just so many benefits. Let's go to Fifth Hammer. This is Louie's favorite brewery. They have a lot of options, and what I appreciate is that there's a huge indoor space and they serve more than just beer, which Rockaway just focuses on beer. This spot has cocktails and stuff. They actually brew all their beer right in-house, so it's like super fresh and delicious. This is Dutch Kills. This is a go-to place for me. The cocktails here are fantastic. They're made by one of the best mixologists in the city. It has kind of like dark vibes, like it's like kind of dark in there. It's like train car-esque, and it doesn't look like much from the outside, but dude, this is the place to go. You gotta come here in the evening. Another spot I love here is Gantry State Park, and that's where we are right now. This is one of the most beautiful parks in the city because it's right on the waterfront and has amazing skyline views of Manhattan. There's also a ton of stuff to do here. They have volleyball courts, they have fields, they have picnicking areas, playgrounds. There's tons of restaurants and food trucks that line the edge of the park. It's a lot. It's great. I come here all the time with Bella. There's also the NYC ferry that takes off right here, which is about, I think it's a $3.75 ride now. And you can take it all down the East River, see gorgeous views of the city. It's just a huge selling point. Another cool thing in Long Island City, we actually have the MoMA here. The MoMA is one of the most famous art museums in the world, and the big MoMA is in Manhattan, but we actually have a secondary MoMA here. It's called MoMA PS1, and this is for contemporary art. Contemporary art is any art that was created after 1970. Actually, modern art, although it sounds like modern, right, like today, modern art is any art between the late 1800s and 1970. So this is the contemporary art is actually the new art, and they have a lot of cool exhibits always happening. So the MoMA PS1 is actually free for New York residents, which is a nice bonus. If you're not a New York resident, it's $10. This building actually used to be an old schoolhouse, and they've kind of recreated it into this art museum. It's pretty interesting. There's a video on the floor. She's like on fire and naked. It's very interesting. There is one negative thing about LIC that I have to admit, and that is that the rents are rising. So if you're interested in moving here, the sooner the better, so that you can avoid the super high prices. In fact, my landlord is trying to raise my rent, and it's already $49.50. Yeah. Now, if you're curious how I can even afford that, watch this video next, and it will tell you all the deets.